Welcome back everybody on our continuing wondrous journey down the road to Dark Matter Camo. We have to combat the combat knife, that's right. So today we're looking at that, and I really do hope you guys find this useful. I want to say thank you to the 4 people that helped me test some things in here today. Really appreciate it, and it really obviously helped me out a lot. So if you guys want to go and check out that channel, so obviously that would mean a lot. So yeah, cheers guys, and let's get into it then. Okay, so first of all, for today we're going to talk about the first 10 camos. So that's going to be the first 9 about getting the 200 kills with the combat knife, and then we're going to be moving on to 10 Backstabber medals. Then next episode we're going to be looking at the Survivor medals, the Revenge medals, and then other types of Revenge medals, as well as a Bloodthirsty, probably in a later part. So that's what's going to come next, but today we're going to be talking about first the 200 kills. Okay, so there's a very nice class I want to quickly show you guys. You know, it's not brilliant, but I just want to quickly show you. Obviously, you don't have to follow it, but it's just something that's there if you guys want to have a guide of kind of what kind of thing to run. So basically, what I like doing is running the combat knife along with 2 tacticals, which are smoke screens, and then for perk 1 I've gone for Sixth Sense and Overclock. Then for perk 2 I've gone for Tracker and Hardwired, and for perk 3 I've gone for Dead Silence, and of course I've needed 2 wildcards for that. So that's what I've liked to go for. That uses up all 10 points, but it's a really useful class setup. And the reason why we're using Overclock is because I'm going to be using the Specialist of Heatwave. Now this is like a specialist ability from Vibrate, but it's really useful because when you're close to enemies you can stun them, so you know they won't be able to move, so you can just quickly stab them, and it gives you a much better advantage when you're trying to kill them. But similarly, if you don't like that, you could use something like Active Camo, where you're invisible for a short amount of time, or you could even use Psychosis. You've got 3 clones that sort of spawn around you, and then you can sort of just hide in between them, or you know the enemy will be distracted with those, you can run around him or whatever, so that's useful as well. But the most useful one I'd say is probably Heatwave. But nonetheless, that's the class setup. Now let's talk about how to actually get those 200 kills very quickly, because you're probably thinking, God, 200 kills, that is a lot. But if you think about it, you know, you're probably thinking that, but if you try and break it down into small parts, it's really not that much. Now, I honestly like Nuketown. It's really, really good. You get a lot of kills, so it's very, very useful. Just don't like run in there. Just either stay on your side of the area and wait for enemies to come to you, or alternatively you can try and like sneak into their spawning area, but don't just run through the middle because you're going to die straight away. And for the very small amount of people that have complain saying they don't have Nuketown, that's fair enough. Free for all is very good as well, and also I really like Combine because you get a lot of kills on that map. So just you want kind of small size maps, and free for all can be a good way to get it, but honestly Nuketown's probably better. What next? Well, next we're going to talk about the score streaks. So honestly I like running the UAV and the counter UAV. They're good because also you can see the enemies and you can prevent them from seeing you on the radar. And the third one really doesn't matter, you don't have to run anything. To be honest, I just ran a hater just in case they did really well, but you know, you really don't want anything lethal, so there's not really much you can go for. So that's really what I'd suggest. And that'll be how to just keep, it won't take long, just keep going, get your 200 kills, that'll be that. Next we're going to be looking at the Backstabber medals. Now these are a little bit more difficult, and you're probably thinking, but it's only 10. And they're reasonably easy, but sometimes they can be a bit annoying, and things can not necessarily go your way. So I want to show you some really awesome tips, and this is really what you want the video for. So okay, so I'm hoping to actually see gameplay of us testing this, but this image you're showing here, really useful image. I just want to say, guys, so the red region is the where there's no guarantee of getting a backstab medal. By the way, a backstab medal, for anyone that's not aware, is when you stab someone in the back with a combat knife. Some other weapons I think can do it as well, but this is the one we're focusing on today. So there is obviously no guarantee of getting a backstab medal in the red region, and that's because like the further into the red region you go, the more towards his arm you are. Basically you want to avoid the shoulders and arms. And I know you're thinking, oh well, that's kind of obvious, but sometimes it's kind of difficult to aim with the combat knife. Yes, you can hold L2 and sort of bring that knife up more, but you can't really aim, so that's why you need to sort of look at this and follow this, because if you go into the red region, what will sometimes happen is your character will spin around the enemy and stab him in the front, not the back, and that obviously count as him just stabbing you in the stomach or chest or whatever, so that won't count as a backstab medal, unfortunately. So you gotta be careful of that, especially when enemies are running around. You won't know which way they'll turn. Sometimes you try and knife and then they'll move and it doesn't count, so you just want to be aware of that. You want to sort of imagine there's a little like slap bang in the middle of the screen. You want to imagine there's a little cross, like a little crosshair, and you want to pretend that that's aiming on the character's back, and you want to aim within that blue region. Like I say, the blue region is where you're going to definitely get a medal, and the pink is just a target. That's sort of where you want to sort of pretend to aim for, and like I say, just imagine there's a cross in the middle of your screen and you're aiming roughly there. And also, fun fact as well is that sort of if you're sort of within that blue region but look up towards his head, that will still count as a backstab medal. And even, I'm not suggesting you do that because sometimes it could not work out for you, but I'm just saying that how it works. And also, if you were to go prone and knife at his feet, as long as it's within that blue region, but just further down, that will count as well. So you can, like, in between his legs, you knife at his feet, that will count as a backstab middle. So, you know, or crouch or anywhere within that blue region, if you imagine it to go all the way down his body, then you'll get the backstab middle. I hope that makes sense. Now, okay, so the maps I'm going to suggest are the best ones are Combine, we've got Exodus, not Exodus, sorry, Evac, oh god. Fringe is not bad as well, actually. We've also got Hunted, Infection, yeah, Stronghold can be alright, and obviously Nuketown's really, really good as well in the Chaos Mosh Pit playlist. Okay, so why do we need those maps? Well, in terms of game modes, I'm going to suggest you either go for the Nuketown, yeah, or you go on to Domination, something like that. You need something where they're on an objective. Oh yeah, Safeguard can not be bad as well. So Safeguard, Domination, and Nuketown. Domination's probably my favourite. Now the reason for this is because a really nice method actually is to sort of not capture a flag, but, you know, capture a point, a base in Domination, then hide near the flag, and then when an enemy comes to, you know, kind of take it back, you can then creep up behind them and stab them, and they have to obviously stay on that flag for quite a bit of time, so it's really useful. A place I like doing it is on Hunted. You know, I think by flag A, I think there's like a big rock there you can hide behind, so you can get the flag and just hide behind the rock right next to it, and then when enemies coming along, it's very easy, you can take them out. That's a really nice method. Second thing I like doing is, you know, where there's lots of sniping points or big windows that people shoot from, what you can do is obviously wait till people go up there to shoot people out the window, and then obviously you can come up behind them when they're not realizing, sneak up behind them. You got places like Infection, you got places like say Evac, some of the other ones, you know, they've got big windows that people shoot out of. If you sneak up behind them, you can obviously stab them in the back, and that's obviously an easy way to get it again. So basically, what you want to do as well is, if you're on when you're on maps, you want to sort of try to sneak around to the enemy base, and then maybe get some backstab middles, like that way as well. So that's a nice way. And then finally, this is a really good method as well, baiting people. So like, someone will see you run into a building, but they don't see exactly where you go in the building. Then you hide right behind the door. When they run through to come and try and find you, you then stab them in the back, if that makes sense. That's a really good method, and people don't really think of that, so that's probably one of my favourite methods. Just follow those tips, you'll get them pretty easily. Hope you guys found this video useful, and I'll see you guys on the next one.